The Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Coaches Corner, fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's Murfreesboro on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and streaming at WGNSSports.com.
And this portion of the Coaches Show brought to you by Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance, TOA, the largest and most comprehensive orthopedic surgery group in Middle Tennessee. Find out more at TOA.com. John Dinkins back with you here on the show with Coach Steve Carter, the head coach of the Laverne Lady Wolverines. Coach, how are you this morning?
Doing good. How are you?
Doing great. Had a game against Stewart's Creek last night. I think every game y'all play is a rivalry with somebody, it seems like. But how'd the girls go? I think they played pretty well. They lost, but I think that was a pretty good game.
Yes, sir. Came out playing well early on. Then we let the pressure get to us and had some uncostly turnovers. Senior night for Stewart's Creek last night, so they had a big crowd, a lot of energy from them. Kind of went back and forth early on. Then we dug ourselves in a hole. Cut it down to about 15 late in the game, and the Ward girl hit a big three and just kind of couldn't really respond after that. But played till the end. Tough week this week with the schedule that we had, going to Cookeville on Tuesday night and then playing Stewart's Creek on Friday night. So don't have a lot of easy weeks in this district.
You know, your district is one that is a little bit unique, but I think we get spoiled here in Rutherford County in terms of the other district because we're like 3 or 4 miles away from each other. But you guys do have to contend with travel, and Cookeville is a long haul.
Yes, it is. And talking to their coach the other night with the realignment that they have, their drives are even getting longer for next year. So they're in a tough spot. We're definitely excited about the realignment for next year to where we're a little bit closer home. But last couple of years has definitely been a challenge, but the competition within the district has been good for us if you want to try to advance when it gets to playoff time.
And this district's really, your district's really tough. I mean, Cookeville, Lebanon, Stewart's Creek, probably the top 3 of the top teams in the top 20 in the state night after night. But I do know it's got to be a good experience for you. I know the wins and losses are not what you want, but I see improvement. I was talking to Lonnie about the Smyrna team. His team's improved, and you had a big win over them the other night. It comes down, though, I think sometimes with teams that do not have the experience of maybe others, is shooting is an issue sometimes. I mean, the ball won't go in the basket.
Yes, that's one of the biggest parts of the game. We against a very good Stewart's Creek team last night, we scored in the 40s, so we had a really good night offensively, but they just hit more shots, and the pressure got to us early on, and some key rebounds that we lost early on, and the free throw line is continues to bother us a lot. So that's something we still got to work on, but that's something they've got to do. Like I told them the other day, pre-practice, post-practice, staying after, getting shots up in the morning, before school, things like that. Those are things that they got to do. They got to be a gym rat if they want to fix those small things.
Coach, when you're trying to build the program and you've got games that such a tough district, free throws are huge and those kind of things. I think you said probably the most important thing that I've heard in a while. You have to be gym rats. I mean, that's what you have to do.
Yes, sir. In the off season, they've got to play. Whether it's getting an AAU circuit, which I think is very important for kids this day and age, because the atmosphere there is sometimes chaotic, and it helps. When you go into these big rivalry games where you're used to playing in those tough atmospheres. We played Independence the last couple of years. That's a really good place to play. Kind of get you ready for those big rivalry games. But they've got to get in the gym, and they've got to get out. When it's springtime, summertime, they need to go to the park. I try to tell my girls all the time, go to the park, play with guys. It's going to get you better, and that's what we try to do sometimes. Coach Rutland and myself have a really good working relationship. He'll send some of his freshman JV guys down to make the girls better with working with us. So I think that's one of the key components, too. Get some really good competition in there for them to get better.
Steve, where do you think the girls are at this point? Because I see improvement every year, and sometimes it's the little things like pressure, handling pressure. Is that better? Has that gotten better? And I know shooting sometimes, but it just takes so much time to get them to a point. But there's definitely some improvement in all your teams the last couple of years.
Yeah, on the court, absolutely. I take this back. I say this just about every time I'm on here. The two seniors that I have, Trinity Ryan, Jada Starnes, there's 12 seconds left last night. They're pressuring in the backcourt. We was not playing full man at the time, I don't believe, and they're pressuring in the backcourt. We're down by 17. I mean, the game's over. But
right.
we stress all the time that the game's not over till the final horn. And that's two seniors that just lead the right way. So as soon as that horn sounds, we're lined up to shake hands. I grab those two and tell them that's what senior leadership looks like. So the fight that these girls have continued to show over these last 3 years, because the wins are not there, definitely for me, and not like I told them, I want it for them. It's not about wins and losses for me. Not even sure what my records are, but I want it for them to be successful, for people to show the growth that they've had. But off the court is where I've really been proud of them. The classroom, former players that are now going to college and looking for chances to play, then coming back over the summer, wanting to be a part of the program as we move forward. So those are some of the big things that I've taken that I've been excited for in regards to growing this program in the right way.
You bring up something there about going on and getting degrees and going on and getting good jobs and the way they handle themselves outside the court. We always seem to throw everything on like the athletic part of it, but really when it all comes down to it, very few get to have a great college career or a great NBA career or whatever. It really is. This is part of their high school, and this may be the biggest thing in their life. And to be able to carry that with them from the experiences they have, those two seniors you've got right there, that's just got to be an amazing thing. I think people overlook that sometimes. We tend to look at, well, where's the program at? But really, we're here to educate and help people.
Yeah, at the end of the year, with every sport, there's one team that comes out on top. Tomorrow, you got one team that's going to win the Super Bowl. The other team, will be forgotten within the next couple of years.
Yeah.
So the biggest joy that I get from coaching is having the players that have come back. Whether it was my years at Laverne Middle School that I coached baseball for a few years, or at Laverne High School where I had to coach track for a few years where we were short-staffed. For those kids to come back and talk about some of the things that they learned and now they're using with their as they're raising their own children, that's one of the greatest compliments as a coach that you could hear. So trying to do things the right way and lead them on the court, off the court. I love that part of coaching. Coaching is teaching to me, so I got to keep that same mentality upstairs in the gym when I'm teaching PE. So it's a joy, and I think that's what helps motivate me throughout to do this every day, and is getting those compliments when the kids come back and talk about those life lessons that they've learned.
Okay, we've got Wilson Central and Smyrna again coming up, and I know you guys take it one at a time. Wilson Central, tell us a little bit about them, what you're expecting from them, and then we'll talk about Smyrna for a minute or two here as well.
Well, against Wilson Central, when we played them a couple weeks ago, we lost by 3. We shot 33% from the free throw line and got beat on the boards quite handily there. So it's a game that we was in the position to win. So I like where we're at going into that game. They shoot the ball really well, athletic. They're still relatively young, kind of like we are. But got 2 home games this week. That's good, so we can stay close to home. And then of course, the excitement with the boys too. So we're hoping to pack the gym for both Wilson Central and Smyrna on Friday night. Smyrna's always fun. Going against Lonnie, my childhood, somebody who I still consider my best friend. We can go, a few years without talking, a few months without talking, but one of the best guys that I've ever known. So that's always fun. And this time they're coming to our house.
And that game, like I think if I recall, I think it was 16-13. Then Smyrna had difficulty scoring, and probably some of that credit goes to your defense. But what you don't want, and last question here, you don't want to get into a scoring drought as well, because that's kind of plagued you guys as well.
Yes, sir. And then we just have to do a better job really getting out in transition. Last night against Stewart's Creek, when we pushed the ball, we had some positive results, but sometimes we just slow it down too much, and that's not the style that I like to play. I'd rather push the tempo, and then once we see we don't have the numbers, we back it out. But, Lonnie will have his girls prepared on Friday night, as he always does. He's got some really athletic, talented girls over there, and he's got a freshman that's got a chance to be really special over there, along with some of his seniors as well. So it's always a fun night. Hopefully it's a good atmosphere, and look forward to the challenge.
Well, Steve, good luck the rest of the way. I know the district, I think it's going to be in Lebanon, right? Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So we'll try to catch a few of those games as well, and good luck the rest of the way, and good luck in the tournament.
All right. Thank you, sir. I appreciate what y'all do.
All right. That's Coach Steve Carter, the head coach of the Laverne Wolverines. When we come back, we're talking Lady Patriot basketball here. This portion of the show is brought to you by Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance, TOA, the largest and most comprehensive orthopedic surgery group in Middle Tennessee. Find out more at TOA.com.
Rely on the experienced professionals at Prentice All